Hi guys, it's Gina. It is Friday, May the 6th. It is scrapbooking celebration weekend, and I am super excited to bring this video to you. There are many exciting things happening over on the Remember Every Day website. It's our website is a year old, and we haven't done much with it in that year, but there's been a lot of planning and a lot of structural organization and things that have led up to this moment. So I'm super, super excited to see one of our first goals realized, and that is we are offering our very first cut file for purchase. And this is the file that Shelly created. Lovely hot air balloons, and it says fly, and you can head on over to the blog and you can see what Shelly did with the file, and you can also purchase it for yourself. So I am going to do a video today in which I use this gorgeous cut file. Can you see it? Let me put it against the black. Look how lovely that is. It's gorgeous. And what's super cool about it is that you can, Shelly, it's a zipped, there's many different options with the file. You can cut the title out separately. You can cut the balloons out without the title. And then Shelly also provided, if you wanted to back all of your balloons with different pattern paper, she also included the cut files in order to do that. So you don't have to figure out how to cut them yourself. She's provided that for you. So it's super, super excited. I'm not going to do that today. I have a different idea, but I believe Shelly did that on hers. So just head on over to the blog, take a look at her project, and I'm going to walk you through mine and also my layout and the story behind it, and all of that will be over on the blog as well. So I really, really hope you guys will check it out, and if you guys use this file, I would love to see what you did. Shelly worked a really long time, a really long time. Not, I don't know if it was hard or not. I have no idea, but I know she worked a really long time on it, and it's our first product. So we're super excited, and we hope that you like it as much as we do. And now we'll just get into the video. I'm going to use this cut file. Hey guys, so I'm going to walk through this layout with you. The first thing I'm going to do is mask off this word fly because I want it to be a different color than the balloons. And all I'm doing here is I'm going to spray the balloons with some glimmer mist in clear, sort of, just to give it a little bit of glittery shine. And so I did that, and now I'm using pan pastels for the first time. I've never used them, but I don't know why, because they're awesome. And I'm going to try to do a gradient effect using darker blues and then fading down, obviously, to lighter blues. And these things they're just awesome. I really, really like them, and I hope that I start pulling them out more because they are fantastic. And the hand gestures in this video might be a little weird because I actually tried to do this creating and talking at the same time, but that didn't work out. Like, it never does. I don't even know why I try. One day I'm going to get the hang of it. And you may also notice that the video, the movements are a little bit faster than normal. I'm trying to keep my videos below 20 minutes, and there was no other way to do it without like cutting out things that I thought were important to see or whatever. So there's my gradient effect. It's subtle, the gradients that go down the page, but I like that. I probably could have cut out this cleanup, huh? But I am going to seal this. You have to seal pan pastels. So I'm sealing this with a spray sealant. It's non-aerosol, so it's safe to use in the house. Otherwise, you're going to have to take it outside to use some kind of sealant. So, and now I decided what colors I wanted to paint this fly word on the die cut. And I'm using some what do they call them? Acrylic glaze. And I'm just going to do that. And I'm actually going to, later on, you'll see that that color is going to be a little dark for me. But now I've picked out a bunch of pattern papers here, and I'm trying a new technique for me. I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos from Cindy Brown. I love her. You should look her up if you haven't seen her before. She's on the design team for almost every scrapbooking company that I love. So, and what she does is she picks her pattern paper out and she just cuts it up. and then deals with the layers later. So this was my attempt to do that. I struggle with layering a lot, and so I decided, hey, if I have all of my papers in smaller, smaller pieces, then I can just run them behind the photo and see how they look. And that's what I'm working on here. And so I'm gonna set up some of my layers and just pulling out bits of paper, and I'm just kind of, putting them in, pulling them out, putting them in, pulling them out, so that I just work to get a background layering thing going on that I like. And so I pulled out my small cutting mat. The Making Memories mat that I have, the black one, is not magnetic. But this little, I don't know who made that little blue one, but that one is magnetic. So I have a bunch of magnets, and I'm just setting the magnets on that to hold my layers in place. And this is the easiest way I've ever layered. It's fantastic. It just makes it so much easier because I glue things too fast. I'm like, yeah, I like that, and I stick glue on it, and then I'm like, oh, but now I have to tear it apart to do it this way. So the magnets give me that sense of gluing it down without the mess of tearing it apart later. So this was the easiest way I found to layer for me, and I'm going to incorporate that into my scrapbooking a lot more. And so this is a photo of my mom. And when Shelly made, I think I said in the intro, when Shelly made this cut file, it was immediate that I was going to scrapbook a photo of my mom. She passed away 12 years ago, and I don't know, if you've lost someone close to you, you know that everyone says time heals. Time doesn't heal. The pain lessens, but there's always that big hole where that person used to be, and yeah, I can look back and all I'm doing in the video right now is pasting all these layers together. So, but I mean, I can look back on my on the memories of my mom and be very, and smile and laugh, but time doesn't heal. Time just makes it easier to deal with, is what it does, because there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss my mom, and some days it's worse than others. But anyway, so I decided that there were a lot of dark layers that I have behind my photo here, and I felt like they needed to be separated out a bit from each other. And so I tried a couple of techniques. I tried some Copic ink and didn't like that, and just excuse my hair there. What a mess. But I tried some Copic ink. I tried a Stabilo All pencil and, some water. Those didn't work. So then I went back to the old tried and true with my Tim Holtz ruler. I love the Tim Holtz ruler for this because you can lay those lines on the edge of the paper, so all of your dashes or your faux stitching are in a straight line. Although if I was actually to stitch, there's no way they'd be in a straight line, so this works. After I got my layers situated, I'm going back to the die cut, and I want the die cut to lay over some of my layers, so I'm just putting a couple of cuts in it so that I can tuck my photo layers underneath that die cut. And I'm gonna do some work with this. I'm going to cut some of my layers shorter to make sure that it sits on that die cut exactly where I want it. I didn't want to cover up a lot, all parts of the die cut, because the fly part of that is my title, so I didn't want part of my title. So I didn't want to cover that up, obviously, but I wanted to get it on the page, the way I liked it, the way it looked good to me. So I'm actually going to use some spray adhesive to put this die cut down. And if you don't have good ventilation in your crafting area, don't use spray adhesive. It's not that great. I really should have taken it outside. I do have pretty good ventilation, but I probably should have taken it outside. My lungs are sticking together. No. So I'm cutting off the excess, so I decided to offset that die cut a little bit to show more of it on the layout, because I didn't want my layers and my main focal point to cover a lot of the die cut up. So I'm going to put the layering, main focal point, what have you, in the lower left-hand corner, and then I shifted the die cut up into the upper right hand corner so I could see more of it and sort of get my main cluster in one of those sweet spots on that, you know, grid. So here's where I said, I prefaced this a little bit earlier, where I said that fly, how I painted it, turned out to be a little too dark for me. So I just went over it with some white Hero Arts. Is that Hero Arts? I believe it's Hero Arts. Or it's Mr. Huey's. I have both whites sitting on my desk. And so I went over it with some of that, and then I am going to bring those acrylic glazes back in and then just kind of give the word more depth. So I'm using two different colors, and I'm putting the darker color on the outside of the letters and the lighter on the inside, hoping to give it a little bit more depth and dimension and things like that. I don't know if it's successful, but that was the intent. There you go. Now the fly sort of fits right in with the layout instead of sticking out like so in your face, because of course I want the photo to be what you look at first. I pulled out this Prima stencil, and I love this stuff. This is Post-it note tape. It's great. I love it. I'm going to use it to set my stencil down and to also block me from putting this. This is from Prima. It's, I don't know, light texture paste, maybe. I think that's what it's called. But the Post-it note tape keeps me from getting that paste everywhere. And yet still I do. What happened was it's a very stark straight line where that stencil ends. So I just wanted to take some of those, the ones that end abruptly, off of there so that it doesn't look, so it looks more natural, you know. And now I'm just going to use that stencil again and just add a little bit more of that modeling paste to the bottom of the page. And of course I'm making a mess, and I'm like, maybe you should put something under this layout, you moron. You know. So and then I decided just to give the sky, if you will, a little bit more of a cloudy kind of feel. I used some of that texture paste and just went around the entire right, left, and top sides of the page just to kind of pull that texture paste. And you can't even see it that well, but when you're looking at it up close, it does give a kind of cloudy kind of feel to the background. Now it's a matter of where am I going to put my layers and how I'm going to put them down. So I took two pieces of ribbon, white ribbon, and I'm going to layer those behind the layout, and obviously the ribbon is sticking up off the page, so I needed something to put my layers on so that everything laid flat. So I just pulled out some cardboard, and I'm going to put that down with a little bit of hot glue, and I just mark my page where that should go back down, because on this page placement was more important than it normally is for me. So I am using my pencil a bit more to make sure that everything goes where I wanted it to go, because like I said, I wanted to feature the die cut, but I also needed focus on the photo. So that's what I'm doing. I left some space on that left hand side, both so you could see that texture paste that I put on there, and also to give me a place where I could embellish. So this process for me is always the longest. I don't know why. I just, oh, maybe I want to use that. No, maybe I want to use that. Oh, maybe that doesn't look good there. It's crazy, you know. I don't know. Do you guys do that too? I'm not sure. So I've tried to, like, okay, I'm only pulling out this stuff and I'm only using what's on my desk. I've tried that. But still, it's like, I don't know, do I want that there? Do I want that there? So I am just going around and figuring out what I want where on this layout. I used some Martha Stewart round tags there and I've stuck a doily under those layers in a few places. There's a light purple one and a darker purple one in the bottom. Just because the layers were looking very, very boxy, so I wanted some round elements in that as well. So I decided finally, yes, I'm going to use this flower, and I'm going to put it right there. I like the flower because it has some feathers coming off of it, and there's the word fly, so you think birds, and there's a little bird I'm going to put on there. And then my layers are collapsing here, so I'm just going to add a little bit more of that cardboard. And then I decide the little bird needs some hot glue because hot glue is the best. And then I thought I was going to use that ribbon. I'm like, no, I'm not going to use that. And here's some chipboard that I bought in the dollar section of either Joann's or Michael's. So I'm going to just layer some of that down there just to let it peek out of those layers. Here's another one of that chipboard piece that came off of that. And just, trying to figure it out. Where do I want to put stuff? These little things you see here are actually beads that came off of a necklace that I tore apart. I have recently, I go over to the Goodwill and I buy, like, they sell these bags of jewelry, like this gaudy, I don't know. I don't even know, guys. It's crazy. But I go over there and then I just pull the jewelry all apart. Obviously, it's, costume jewelry, so it's not, no, I'm not pulling apart really expensive things, but I like it. I think it gives a different look to the layout than just, what. And I guess there's gems and things that they put out strictly for scrapbookers, but if it's in the scrapbook section, it costs 3 times more than if you bought it like at the hardware store. So, anyway, that's my mini rant for this morning. So I added those little gems, and now it's time to figure out my title and figure out the letters I wanted to use for my title. And regardless of how many thickers or letter stickers you own, you will never have the color that you want. So I decided that I was just going to suck it up and I was going to use these, even though they're not the exact color I was wanting. I wanted something more that fit that fly color, the color of the word fly, but these work. And there is that light purple doily that is in the upper left hand corner of my layers there. So this font color is not so far out of the realm, but so I put that in there. My title turns out to be "You Gave Me Wings So I Can Fly," and I used some blue, I think they're making memories, blue letters to spell out the words that were not as important, and then used that wings. And now I thought, it's in the sky, I need some clouds. So I'm using these Studio Calico die cut, their fabric. They're chipboard covered in like fabric. It is fabric. And so I'm going to add those. I'm popping a couple of them up on pop dots, and I'm laying a couple of them flat just to give the layout a little bit more dimension. And I think I am actually going to add that that little bit of twine, but I decided, I guess, not to right at that moment. And here I am pilfering the dots from my letter stickers, so the next time I need an eye out of that, I'm not going to be happy with myself, but I'm pilfering a couple of the dots from that letter sticker sheet to just bring that color purple into other parts of the layout. So I added some of those dots. Here I'm going to use some matte medium to, as a glue. I'm going to use it as a glue on some of these clouds because I'm going to add some glass glitter to them, and this is the step that I really wish I hadn't done. I mean, or I should have stopped. I should have had some self-control and stopped. I don't like what these glitter flowers look, these glitter clouds look like after I'm done messing with them with this glass glue. Look at, On a couple of the other clouds, I'm going to use, I'm going to mix together some Dazzlers and some mica powder to make me a little bit of a darker purple, and then I'm going to layer, I should have done this on all of the clouds. That's my one regret about this layout, because I really like how it gives it this puffy look, but the glitter, I thought I wanted some bling, I wanted to shine and sparkle, but no. I should have held back on that one, or just kept them white, something. Anyway, so I'm adding some of that Dazzlers mixed with that mica powder just to give my clouds a little bit of a puffy look. And then here's a final look at the layout. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was so fast, but I wanted to keep the layout, I wanted to keep the video as short as I possibly could. It's still really, really long, but hopefully it's okay. And I hope you guys will run over to the red blog, remembereveryday.com, and pick up this cut file. And if you do use it on a layout, please share it with us. We'd love to see what you do with it. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.